What's going on, guys? This is the motherfucking kid. Here we are doing two clipping videos just back to back real quick because I know I missed this 2 months ago.
You keep killing fathers without no regrets. Then keep on counting dollars till it ain't none left. So the streets gon' keep on marching like left, right, left. People that's no equal. The police and they be their own sequels. Consistently, it's a monster paid like a system set. Rise from victims of the historic situating is property. People that are melanated so easily separated from what? Fuck the history lesson you know by now. We do not know how. Keep playing dumb but still be trusted. The guns you must be defunded. This march is not the one-off. This march is not the missing warning shot. This march I put in your fucking culture. Choke out the whole assumption that you are here to protect us. This government doesn't respect us. And somehow they seem to expect us to accept the power of these shit.
Yeah, so I fucking love this song. David is so progressive. I love that. I love seeing him on Twitter. You know, he's probably one of the most progressive rappers out there, honestly. Just like actually advocating for real change. Very respectable. Also, his flow is like so fast, but he's so articulate. He can he can really say a lot in a little bit, and it's just like the way he narrates stuff. It's really easy to get a message across like in a really short amount of time. The whole idea of like the social contract being broken by the police, and you know this is kind of like justifies the response of the Black Lives Matter movement is very valid. People don't understand that, you know, like when the social contract has been broken, when you are living in fear of a system that regularly impacts your life either day to day or you know every other day to every other day, you don't understand like the severity of it until you really like comprehend that that has been broken, you know, like with everything that's going on. There's no way that people in certain communities can trust this system that's supposed to have your back basically instead of shooting it 7 times.
Donald Trump is a white supremacist. Full stop. If you vote for him again, you're a white supremacist. Full stop. Call it like it is and then let the rim spin today. Full stop. Vote one up for Big Floyd. The march is not going to stop.
Alright, so let's talk about what he just said right now. It is a fact that if you vote for Donald Trump, you are supporting policies that affect certain minorities in very detrimental way. I'm done making an argument that some of these policies are racist. They are by their very nature, you know, like just by definition, they are racist policies. You know, the separation of children at the border wall, Muslim ban, and then now his rhetoric with the China virus. You know, he just keeps calling it China virus, China virus. It's a very smart strategy when it comes to like using xenophobia as a weapon. And when you just repeat it, and the message gets through, oh, you know, all of a sudden you say it enough, and crime against Asian Americans statistically goes up. You know, you are supporting racist rhetoric as well as racist policy. And, you know, he did do the First Step Act that really affected the African American community, but you could also argue that he didn't do enough just by like, he could have legalized weed, for example, something that everyone knows Trump doesn't give a fuck about, only the Republican establishment or the evangelical base, whatever. But you know, you can tell Trump himself, he wouldn't give a fuck. And if he really cared about the black community, then he would have definitely gone through with that shit. Something that wouldn't have affected him, it would actually have affected him positively, like with regards to his polling and stuff like that. But yeah, I really like how he just said it like flat out, like, oh yeah, if you support him, then you're racist. Like, if fucking, it's just that simple.
For you, no one's really about that. You got the guns, but we got the shout, the vote, the mouthpiece, the clout, and the loud pack. Got guns too. Get facts, yeah, we doubt that. Show us receipts, and we will denounce that. Take your tear gas, inhale like an ounce of that cookie, take the bullets all bounce. Even when they break, flex you and I say, we are watching every motherfucking move you make. Play it back on camera, us and know what can take the order of events and lead to another life you take. And if the verdict come back less than murder, don't be surprised when your streets are burning. This ain't correct, this place did is turning. Cop cars and bonfires till you learn. If you profit off Donald Trump is a white supremacist. Full stop. If you vote for him again, you're a white supremacist. Full stop.
I love this song so much. This shit's fucking dope. the idea of like boycotting businesses to show your true power is very understated. We very much control the whole economy with our spending power. The economy is built on consumerism. It's no longer, a production labor, it's a service labor. So, we're just serving each other, and, we're basically number one still because of our spending power. And that's pretty much going very much down. The lyric of like, you have all the guns, but we have all the mics. The left creates art. Vast majority of artists are left leaning. The right just appropriates it. Uh, they don't really innovate in an artistic sense. And if they do, it's super rare. You can give me the Fountainhead, whatever the fuck. Oh yeah, one book. H.P. Lovecraft. I don't know if being like an incel right, alt right in this day and age. And in this hook, I love that he's very much stating the facts. Let's say you're supporting some guy that's, let's say there's like a politician and like they're a red pillar. They support dominating women from an authoritarian sense. They are property now. They will be redistributed as such. And like he's making a lot of headway. And people ask you, why are you voting for him? He's do you hate women? Is this what's going on here? And your response is, I just really like his ideas on like the economy and stuff like that. You supposedly disagree with him on his rhetoric with women. It could conceivably be assumed that you hate women just, you know, by supporting this guy. It's like, why would you support him if you have no intention of like, him enacting those policies? A real life handmaiden.
The breeze is easy, it moves by. Timid, more whisper than blow. Telephone wires, they buzz live. Blackbird is frozen in flight. Same on the windows. 8-year-old girl collar caramel skin. Pink barrettes and colored pencils. Stares her mouth open and eyes wide. As the crowd gathers below. They heard the shouts and they knew why. Grab cell phones, press and record. Blue uniform and a badge on. Showing no fear in his eyes. Stands in the street with his gun drawn. Military issue 45. Times have made a choice of what to keep and what to throw away. Everything ingrained comes to a point so sharp could cut a piece a day. And it bleeds on the ground. Keep your knees on the ground where they belong. Brown boy sitting on his knees with his eyes shut. Hands behind his head, fingers woven pinkies up. Saying he ain't even do nothing what you want. They threw him on the ground when he called them all punks. Retro, blue and white, Jordan's tongues out. Over the black jeans, cuffs just the right amount. To make that ink in the dark pavement gets darker when it's wet. He's losing balance slow with his hands on his head, so his face hits first and his eyes go dead and the air is sucked out of the world with his last breath. Grain comes to a point so sharp could cut a piece a day. And it bleeds on the ground. Keep your knees on the ground where they belong. Keep your knees on the ground where they belong. One side is sneakers and wedge heels. One side is boots with a steel toe. One wants to shout the way they feel. One told feel nothing and move slow. Legs crying for dead sons and daughters. Training said, here's the enemy. Prepare yourself for the war. When they get violent, you better be ready to defend the core. In come the tanks and the AKs. Protesters running for life. 8-year-old girl crying loud at the window. Not a single cloud within sight. Go ahead and make your peace, baby. Go on and get your peace. Swore to keep the peace and it is shattered into pieces. And it bleeds on the ground. Keep your knees on the ground where they belong.
I'm a little speechless after that. That's really one of the best songs I've heard come out of them, inspired by the movement. It's like up there right next to Lockdown with Anderson Paak. Love the involvement of like the little girl, the idea that there's there's kids growing up watching this, just on the sidelines, and especially if they are, black, if it's very obvious to them the issue. It's traumatizing in the sense of like, oh, they woke up to the idea that there's systematic racism, and there's people so aware of the systematic racism that they're literally willing to go out to the streets and protest, in some cases riot, uh, with the idea of ending this systematic racism, with the hopes of bringing justice to victims of this systematic racism, systematic oppression. I just love the whole inclusion of that little girl just watching by the window. Yeah, man, like I said, David is definitely one of the most progressive guys I've ever heard, in a rap song for sure. Just actually advocating for real change, and articulating it in a way that's like so immediate. He very much reminds me of like a modern day Zach De La Roca or some shit. I wish he was on the Run the Jewels record, and that would complete his whole journey for me.